Well, about time that died. I'm just kidding, of course. Welcome everyone to the first episode of Random Rambles with me, your hostess, Vega, where I just pick a random topic of the day to ramble on about because I don't feel like making a script. I've been working so hard on a script. I'm working on a script for weeks and I'm gonna miss the deadline of Halloween. Come on. Oh boy, okay. So, Animal Crossing Podcamp. It's gonna freaking die. Um, well, more like be reborn, reincarnated into Pocket Camp Complete, coming December 3rd at the rival price of $20. Well, more so like if you get the early bird special, it's $10, but if you don't, it's freaking 20, which is absurd in my opinion. But it's Nintendo. What are you going to do about it? I know a lot of people are talking about like kind of what's gonna be in the new game, etc., etc. I mean, well, quote unquote new game. It's more like just it's the final game. It's finished updating basically. You got the full experience. It's called complete for a reason. It's not really a new thing. It's just done. It's just done updating. But yeah, it's basically the final version. It has reached its final form. And that brings up the question, like, is this gonna be worth your money? Is it gonna be worth that $10 or $20 that it's asking for, especially depending on what kind of Animal Crossing player you are? So that's kind of what I want to talk about, like, the fact that, no, there's so many aspects to Animal Crossing, primarily, the decorating aspect, the collectathon aspect, and the life sim aspect. Those are kind of the three cores of Animal Crossing, in my opinion, of course, just my opinion. But yeah, I think Pocket Camp is actually one of the better games to get into the series with because of how accessible it is. Well, I mean, well, if you're not in Europe, of course, because gambling laws and of course the microtransactions and stuff. But now that it's going to be complete, well, it's probably going to be one of the easiest ways to get into Animal Crossing. It's like a microcosm of everything that the series is about, from, well, of course, the customization and the furniture and the decorating and the villagers, etc., etc. Like, if you want to dip your toes into it, and you don't have immediate access to New Horizons or New Leaf, etc., etc. It's a great way to see what series is all about. See if it's really up to you before you start committing to the big old main games and stuff. We're speaking of main games. Yeah, after this, there's gonna be nothing Animal Crossing for a hot minute. Of course, everyone's waiting for the Switch 2, which good lord knows when that's gonna come out, especially with all the leaks that broke out recently, unfortunately. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting, having this drought of content for Animal Crossing. I mean, well, it's been a drought for a hot minute, but you know what I mean. There's basically nothing going on with the series for a while. In fact, that's I could say that of most Nintendo properties right now. Nintendo is kind of wrapping up everything in terms of production, game pipeline. I think they have one or two more games, but it seems like they're getting their more smaller experimental stuff out. They're getting some random little things out, like the Nintendo alarm clock and Nintendo excuse me, the Nintendo Music app just dropped today, which was that was a little bit surprising, of course, but they like to experiment. They're in their creativity phase. Let them cook with what they got. They got some bigger stuff that's going on at Stovetop right now. So yeah. Um what was my train of thought? My train of thought was, oh yeah, yeah. Is this worth the price? I think it really does depend, because if you are the type of Animal Crossing enjoyer who likes decorating, this is a field of joy for you. This is an amazing game for you if you love to decorate. You have basically three sites that you could decorate. You could decorate your camper, you could decorate your campgrounds, and you could decorate your cabin, and the cabin has several levels to it. So you could kind of create multiple different scenes, multiple different scenarios. And the coolest part is that almost all the furniture has some way that the villagers can interact with them. a lot of them actually have unique animations. So often you can set entire like little villages, you can set like a resort, you can set up like a snowball fight, you can set up like a wizarding school, etc, etc. It's genuinely really, really cool how they have managed to create so much liveliness in the villagers just by allowing them to interact with all the furniture that you're able to set up and put into it. So I think that's a huge bonus for you if that's what you're interested in. If you're more along in the collectathon category of Animal Crossing enjoyers, I think you're going to be okay. The seasonal events are really fun, except for the grind, but I think the grind is going to be okay now that we have access to the handy helper. It's no longer behind a paywall. It's going to be available to you, and that thing is so helpful. I got to have handy helper for like a 1 month free trial, and it really changed the enjoyability of the game for me. So again, collectathon aspect, that's like something you like to do. It's pretty fun when you do have the handy helper, and since this is the complete version, I think you will have that enjoy. Now, I do want to say, if you're more into the life sim, that's where this game kind of lacks, especially now that all the multiplayer aspects are basically gone. There's like this pseudo new element, not element, but like this new spot called Whistle Ridge, I think. You'll see it on screen in a second, but like KK Slider's there, he's hanging, he's having a concert. All your old friends are just gonna be there, kind of just there. There's also this new trading card system, which is actually pretty cool. It reminds me of Street Pass, but I do wish they did a little more with this aspect, because it was genuinely fun seeing what everyone made on their camp, what everyone's new kind of photo was once in a while, and all the market boxes were really helpful for getting event stuff done and such, especially the in between mini events with the fruit and the money, etc. So yeah, that is a bit of a sad aspect. And another thing too is that the villagers are really not that deep. I mean, I love that they're so interactive, all the furniture, but in terms of talking to them, well, they're very one note. they're very one note. I mean, the villagers haven't really been that interesting for a while. I think ever since New Horizons, the villagers have they're just kind of there. They're there to be cute, they're there to be adorable, and just they're kind of accessories, which is kind of a sad thing to think, but it is what it is. I mean, so yeah, if you're into the life sim aspect of it, I'm afraid you're not really gonna have much here. But you know, Animal Crossing is more than just all those elements individually. It's the sum of its parts that makes it up. And a Pocket Camp is actually pretty damn good. I really do recommend it now that it's fully complete, especially for that early bird discount special. Do not wait until it's the full $20. That's absurd. I would not recommend it for $20, man. That's stupid. So don't be stupid. If I'm not calling you stupid, by the way, I'm just saying, be financially responsible, okay? So if you can nab that early bird discount, you have about a month between December 3rd and January 1st to nab it. And yeah, have fun with it, man. I mean, now that all the microtransactions are gone, way more people overseas can get it. A lot more people can like just enjoy it and not have that awful grind that it used to have. Yeah, I think this was a good call. It was way too long to make that call, but it's a good call nonetheless. And I'm glad that this game is finally complete, and I don't have to kind of like have that hangover. Like, man, is this ever gonna be done? Am I ever gonna have the full deal to go and enjoy? Like, yeah, it's done, and I think that's good. Now, a last little bit I wanted to kind of mention, but I'm not going to get too deep into it because it does have wider implication for the series. Is what are they going to do? What's the direction they're going to go in for the next mainline game or the potential next side game? because New Horizons, they definitely went a lot heavier into the customization aspect. And while that was really good, I think that also left behind a lot of the kind of core aspect of Animal Crossing, which is the life sim. At the end of the day, Animal Crossing is mainly supposed to be a life sim game. You're growing up in a town. You're kind of out on your own for your first time. You're learning how everything goes. You're making friends. You're setting yourself up, and that's kind of the beauty of it. Is that it's a story of your own growth in it, and that was always a very wholesome aspect of it. So I would like to see them return to it. I don't know if they will. I don't know if there's any incentive to do that, especially with how successful Pocket Camp has been for so long. But we'll have to see. I won't get too deep into it because again, that's probably gonna have to be a full-on Vibes and Why or What's Next episode where we break down kind of what all the implications that the previous games have for the future of Animal Crossing, specifically between New Horizons, New Leaf, and Pocket Camp. This kind of ends a whole era for Animal Crossing. That era that kind of started with New Leaf and then kind of really blew up with New Horizons, that introduced so many people to Animal Crossing and really made it mainstream. And then Pocket Camp, which is kind of like it's the one consistent between New Leaf and New Horizons that's existed for so long, man. And now that's over too. So it's going to be interesting seeing where this series will go from here. We don't know again, but I'm rambling on way too long. I'll get into it when the time comes. For now, I think I'm done for now. I think I'm done. Yeah, it's oh god, it's almost 3 a.m. Guys, 3 a.m. I got so much writing to do for video scripts, but well, thank you for listening to me ramble. This is Vega signing off.